I really struggled to find inspiration for this talk. I wanted something that I was personally passionate about, but felt qualified enough to get up here and talk about in front of a big group of people. But I have a lot of new going on in my life right now. I'm a new mom. This is River. She's really cute, but she takes a lot of my time. I just bought a new house, so I'm in the final push of getting our new home set up. And I just took on a new role at work, and I work at a very fast-paced company. Don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining, my life is great, but it would be an understatement to say I'm struggling a little bit with figuring out how to manage the new demands on my time. And I've often had a thought over the last few months, like, you need to stop saying yes to so many things. Second confession, giving this presentation is one of those things. I have to give a huge thank you to Allison because she has afforded me so much grace in me being slow to respond and rescheduling some of our meetings, so thank you. But a couple weeks ago, as I was having one of those thoughts, I took a step back and I realized this is not new for me. This is not because I have a baby or a new house or a new job. I have had this thought so many times in both my personal life and my professional life. And I came to the same conclusion I always come to, which is I have all the tools I need to fix this problem for myself. And I think it's really cool that two of the most powerful tools that we have are two tiny words. Because at the end of the day, we all want to make the most impact with our time, whether that's at work, driving more revenue, or improving a profit margin, or carving out more quality time for our family and our personal lives. All this comes down to how we prioritize our time, and really that boils down to what do we choose to say yes to and what do we choose to say no to. And I am far from perfect at this, but I've learned a lot of lessons along the way, and I've definitely improved. So instead of standing up here and telling you how to do it, I am going to tell you some embarrassing stories about the mistakes that I've made that have helped me learn how to say yes and no better. So first, let's set the stage. In 2015, I joined Huddle, and I started as the director of marketing. And when I joined, the marketing function hadn't really kept pace with the growth of the rest of the business, so other teams were starved for marketing help. So almost immediately, there were leaders from across the company who were reaching out to me with project ideas. And I evaluated each one. Most of them were really good ideas. There was a good ROI case. I had the talent on my team to actually get them done. And to be honest, some of them were very simple and basic, and I thought, these are slam dunks. I'm going to knock these out of the park. So I started saying yes to everything. It was so easy and it felt so good. But that feeling was very, very short-lived because I realized I had bitten off way more than I can chew. I had extremely overcommitted for the capacity that my team could take on. I had one little additional sugar high, a little blip of hope when all this work started coming in and my team really buckled down. People were putting in long hours to handle the extra capacity. And I thought, man, how lucky am I? My team is really going to save my butt. I have really committed, high horsepower people. I think we're going to get through this. But that was not the case. I had taken on way too much. No one could focus. We were overcommitted. The team was stressed out. We were missing pretty much all of our deadlines, and I was not proud of the work. We were not doing quality work. And at the end of the day, we were just getting in each other's ways. On top of that, all of the good relationships that I had started to build with leaders across the company were really starting to take a hit because I was not able to satisfy the commitments that I had made. So I knew I needed to do something different. I took a step back. I spent some time carving out or really locking in the priorities, getting my team up to speed, making sure they were bought in, and then giving them very specific instructions to say no to any requests that came in that fell outside of those priorities. And we were saying no to a lot of things. This is a real joke. A few members of my team decided that I was actually the head of the Department of No, and our tagline was, "How can I not help you today?" But joke aside, it seemed like it was working. Things started to flow. We were managing our work in progress. The quality improved. I was proud of the work that we were doing. We were hitting our dates. We were doing things on time, which was great. And we could actually see the return on the investment that we were making. And it just felt like stuff was working well. So I was patting myself on the back. I'm like, you did it. You created this lean, mean marketing machine that everybody's going after. Again, I got a little bit more time to feel that, but this was still short-lived because I realized I had accidentally created a black market. I was saying no so often, and I was providing no context on why I was saying no, that people just stopped asking me. So we had salespeople who were doing their own marketing work. There were members of my team who were getting hit up to do special secret side projects in their spare time because the requester didn't want to fill out this dreaded marketing request form that I had created where stuff would float off into the ether and then inevitably I would probably say no to it anyway. So we were right back here. The team was once again spread way too thin, trying to deal with things that were happening in their regular job, balancing that with the secret side projects that they were working on, and these unsanctioned marketing projects started getting in the way of stuff that was on our actual backlog. On top of that, I also realized that I was missing out on really valuable opportunities to learn. The priorities that I had set for my team were getting out of alignment with the rest of the company, and I was missing out on really good ideas and feedback on how I could optimize my team and we could start doing work better. I knew I needed to start to listen, and at the very least, when I was telling somebody no, I needed to provide them with some rationale on why I was saying no. So we did two things. We did some restructuring on the marketing team. I looked across my senior managers and tried to carve out areas of responsibility for them that better aligned with their peers on other teams at the company. And then I also realized that I needed to start delegating decision-making to those senior managers. So in a lot of ways, this brought everything full circle, where now I have a team of new leaders who are experiencing the exact same challenges that I was experiencing with learning when to say yes and when to say no. And my first instinct when I see people on my team making the same exact mistakes that I made is jump right in there and help them out. And some people may argue that this is the right thing to do because in the short term, it gets the project done on time or gets the project done the right way. But I very quickly realized that this was not in the best interest of me, my team, or the company. The team felt demoralized, like I didn't trust them to do the work. I was spread way too thin and was at risk of burnout, and my managers weren't learning what they needed to learn to become better at their jobs. So once again, I took a step back and took a new approach. I focused on teaching my team to help them avoid as many mistakes as possible, and then just getting out of the way. I needed to carve out the space for them to make their own mistakes, but then still be there to support them and help them learn. And we're gonna bring it full circle in the presentation because I wanna sneak in one more baby picture. River is about to turn 8 months old. So the core of my parenting so far has been survival. I keep her alive, but I can tell that we are at a turning point where I'm going to have to start learning new lessons on saying yes or no as a parent. And like I mentioned, I am far from having this all figured out. So I will be here for the happy hour, I'll be here for the circle discussions, and I really look forward to hearing advice from you all on saying yes and saying no. Thank you.